Alright, welcome to Yakuza 5. Apparently I'm addicted to these games, because I just can't stop playing them. You got a Stamina Rill, you got a Toughness Emperor, you got a Torrenter, you got a Ball Buster, or you got a Rick Shitter Beer. Ooh, that water. That gelatinous T1000 water. Taiko no Tatsujin, it's 100 yen for a single player game. Maybe I should give it a try. Ooh, this looks exciting. Oh my god. Alright, that was really fun. Man, what a good guy our boss is. Oh wow, did it tooth get knocked out? Whoa. You must stop at red lights. If you drive through one, you will suffer a heavy penalty. It's like reverse GTA. Obey all the traffic laws. Don't upset your passengers. We always have it at New Year's. The car behind us sped up all of a sudden and tried to run us off the road. That car, it looks like they're one of the devil killers. Street racers who cause nothing but trouble. They challenge people on the road, shake them down for money if they lose. Happened to a lot of people already. What? Go ahead and take them on. Oh, we're gonna add drag racing to this? Kiryu versus devil killer. Life is about firmness. Good luck. Is this gonna be a making ramen minigame? Oh, hi there, Suzuki-san. Something up, Muramatsu. Empty windows keep popping up. They won't stop. Wait, I know what this is. It's one of those cyber terrorism attacks. Whack the box, tap random keys on the keyboard, pull out the cord at the back of the box. I think that cord at the back of the computer might be the answer. What's this, Suzuki? Some girl is moaning through the computer speakers. Uh-oh, I guess it was a trap. The attacker must have known what we do. So, Dad, question. You've worked for 40 years with computers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you have a virus attack on your computer and you pull a LAN cable, would that cause pornographic moaning to start happening? Because the hacker was so good, they knew your every move. They triggered it so that the girl moaning would prevent you from fixing the virus.
It might be an easily anticipated thing, but no hacker would do that unless they're really being...
Okay, thank you. Restart the computer, plug the cord back in. I guess we haven't whacked the box yet. Guess we're gonna have to go with the last resort. Pulling the power cord out of the computer. That'll stop it in its track. Well, didn't we restart the computer already? You realize you could lose all the data, right? Not from just pulling the power cable out. It's scrapped. It won't boot up anymore. The hard drive is dead as a doorknob. What? Oh, okay. Okay. That happened. We pulled the power cable. Oh, I guess the computer's perfectly fine now. We could just slam into other cars and it doesn't matter. Tips are supposed to be a gesture of appreciation. If there were more people like you around, there might... Oh, okay, apparently that's over with. My security detail caught up with us. Look at the car behind us. That's my security detail. As they catch up, it'll all be over. There's no car behind us. There's no car behind us. Wait, there is a suspicious looking car behind us. Don't let them catch us. I can see behind us, there's clearly no one following us. Riona's probably the trendiest kid at Morning Glory. She likes fashion and talked about going to Tokyo one day. Oh yeah, she's the girl who said she wouldn't date a black guy. Remember that? Remember when she said that? Mitsuo had a crush on Riona. Hey, I even helped him pick out some clothes to impress her. He's got a big heart and I bet he'd be good for her. I hope things go well for the two of them. Aren't they like 8? Her running shoes were practically falling apart. I'll send her money for new shoes. A good pair probably runs about 20,000 yen. I'm sorry, $200 for shoes? Oh, there's garbage on the ground. We can't grab it because we're in a cutscene. Oh, we can grab the garbage. Yeah, we got the garbage. More garbage. Is this the garbage that will increase our garbage level? Indeed, we're now garbage level C. We are going to a mixer. Yeah, one of those group date sort of things. Aren't there 3 of them on their way? We're 1 man short. I guess that could be a problem, but it's not like we've got anyone else we could invite. Oh, wait, hold up, Suzuki-san. Could you join us at the mixer? Isn't Kiryu like 20 years older than them though? I'm Yuki Nakayama. I'm always laughing about something. In fact, I laugh at the drop of a chopstick. Drop a chopstick, don't do it. Chad move right here. She says to laugh at the drop of a chopstick. Let's test that out. Do you speak Japanese? Yes, but just a little. I'm gonna guess Russian? Fukuoka is great. The food delicious. What did you eat? The name I forget. That's not a Russian accent, is it? I'll just keep going with this and see what happens. Spicy red eggs. Spicy red eggs. That must be... Oh, fuck if I know. People in Fukuoka often say body. And I mean, Russian, Italian, I don't know. Accents, what are they? So something I've been thinking about, a lot of the Yakuza games side content that I've noticed, it feels like they will take a concept and then they'll only push it to as minimal amount that it needs to be functional, or they'll put in lots and lots and lots of repetitive content. So the drum mini game is really good. It's got a really good presentation, very colorful, but there's only 3 songs to play. So there's really only so many times you can do this. It would have really helped if there were at least 5 songs. But I noticed that it's the same kind of deal with like the taxi mini game stuff, where rather than have a few like really good compelling narrative storylines in those taxi missions, a lot of it becomes sort of these just copy paste, very simple. And again, I am enjoying the game so far, but I do wish if there's some kind of limitation that they've got in terms of quality versus quantity, I would rather have fewer quality missions than more quantity but not as good missions. I would rather have, you know, fewer of these big races if the fewer races were more interesting. Okay, now we can just say, no, we didn't, they did it. Oh, I'm not a fan. The plot can't advance without the characters being stupid.
誰に雇われたんだ。あの日店には山笠組系の男たち2人。だが俺の素性を知る人
But see, here's the problem with this. There's too many things that happen in this story that are stupid. So when like, ooh, you should pick up on these clues and all these little things, but it's like, but I can't pick up on the details because so many of the details are dumb or don't exist or weren't thought out. This would carry a lot more weight if we'd spent more than like one scene with this woman. Man, that really went downhill fast, didn't it? I'm really, really worried about the game now. It had such a strong start, and I thought it did such a good job at setting up this new status quo for what was going on with the Yakuza, and I was interested, and then so many stupid things happened one after another. And now I'm right back to thinking that this story is just gonna be a mess again. That you, Kiryu-san? Of course you wouldn't know I'm hiding my identity. I have to find a way out of this mess. What's my best move? Take Yuya aside and just tell him what's going on. No, we only got stupid options? Okay. Why would he ever agree to show up? Okay, what is the plan here and how dumb is it? Nah, this is all stupid. Wait, you didn't plan to kill Madarame. Didn't you shoot him and the only reason he survived was because he was wearing body armor? Yeah, this is a very stupid plan, but it is taking place in the Yakuza-verse, so... Wait. Excuse me, what? Sure, okay. You can't use guns, that's against the Yakuza rules. Wow, what a shot. All the way from that distance with a handgun, eh? Yeah, no way. Majima's not dead. My problem is it's all nonsense. All of it's nonsense. And it's, again, such a shame because I feel like the details are all here. You've got good animators and artists who create good-looking character models. They create good-looking animation. You've got good voice acting. And then it's let down by a crappy script. The last plot that I actually consider to be good in these games is Yakuza 0. Yes, it's ridiculous that Kiryu can take on, 30 guys. Okay, it's action movie schlock, that's fine. But for the most part, the game made sense. These other games have just been piles of nonsense, and so far, everything in this game is not working. As far as the plot goes, it's like the script thinks it's so smart. For example, we know there's absolutely no way Majima's dead. I just know it's not the kind of game that's going to do that. Majima would not be killed off screen or in a flashback, and also they're just not going to kill Majima. Too popular of a character. When Taiko Drum Master is the best thing the game has going for it, that does not bode well for the rest of the experience. Hopefully, things can pick up, but I can't see the plot turning around at this point. I can tell there's talent here. There are hard-working, clearly talented people behind the making of these games. It's just the script's letting it down.
Lose your love! Everybody!
I see where Majima gets it.
Go! Go! Oi! 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 Oi!
Come on, babe.
Oh, luge of love! Oh, luge of love! Luge of love! La 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 luge of love!
Man, the voice actors must have a blast doing these. Really? Fishing in the toxic sewer waters? This ought to be a good fishing spot. Maybe I'll drop a line in for a bit. Are you kidding me? Oh, and we're gonna fish here too, eh? Your line is like almost clipping through the wall, isn't it?
こいつらに相手してもらう。
Wait, what are we doing?
お前が無所暮らし。
Oh, okay, more nonsense. Got it. Okay, so why would he have a shaved head now when he was in prison for 25 years before this and didn't have a shaved head? Wait. There's a phone in the prison yard? It's called image training. What are we doing now? Use your imagination so that in your mind you're off having a good time in Tsukimino. Okay, here we go. I know, I'll tell you about a time I visited a hostess club.
失礼します。
Hello there. So we're imagining this, right? Okay, so what's actually happening right now is Himura is describing a hot babe to all the other guys in the prison cell. Choose a subject. What subject should we talk about? Girls with big breasts. Sure, why not? You know, I get the feeling that the women around here got kind of huge breasts. The women I see around town tend to have pretty big ones, I tell ya. I see you're into checking out things like that, Saejima. Oh yeah, she's totally turned on by that. Maybe I'm imagining things. And again, my chest is on the larger side, so I'm in no position to talk. How'd they get that big anyway? What is this conversation? How? They just naturally are, I guess. Do they get massaged a lot? It's because you drink milk. It's genetics. We're throwing all the rules out the window. We're imagining a fake girlfriend hostess, so why not? Do they get massaged a lot? That's what I heard, that they get bigger when guys massage them. Maybe that's true. But I started getting bigger towards the end of elementary school. Okay, game. If the game's not going to take anything seriously, then I'm not going to take it seriously. Let's just choose the craziest option. All right, time to have ghost food. All right, I guess let's use our ghost points to ghost level up. This was fun. Think that's enough, though. We can't escape from prison until we hear the last of the ghost tales.
逃げろ、冴島！逃げるんだ！
What was the whole point of trying to play by the rules within the system and trying to get his parole denied and all that stuff if you're just gonna have a bunch of guys show up and kill them? Just do that from the beginning. I just want it to be crazier. Have it be that after defeating the bear gains respect for us and it becomes our friend. Yakuza, game crime bosses, betrayal. No. Oh, the mystical, rumored bear that's twice the size of a normal bear. It has a taste for human flesh. What? Did we just become Until Dawn? What is this? You've got bad frostbite. Moving will kill you. I thought he literally just said if we move around, the frostbite will kill us. One of our hunters found him in the woods one day. He was lost, so the hunter brought him back to the village. Then he just stayed. What is that face? What is that face? Look at that face. It feels like Saejima needed to be in the story, but they just didn't have like enough content. So they just said, oh, stretch it out, stretch it out. Forget me, take care of him. Wait a minute. So Baba has been just sleeping on the ground in this frozen blizzard overnight in his prison uniform? Okay, he's 100% dead. Or at least he should be, but this is the Yakuza verse. Didn't he say to us when we got here, didn't he say to Saejima, oh, you've got frostbite. If you even get up and try to move around, you'll be dead. And then Saejima just immediately got up and walked around. So Baba was out there for hours longer than Saejima was. But he'll be fine. Sure, that just leaves the gun. You got anything? As much as I'd like to help you, I only have one rifle. Wasn't there a gun in the background at the shed that we just left? There's a gun right there. Oh, you can't have that. That gun's that's my ornamental gun. I keep it as artwork. Yeah, hunting hut. 0 of 4, trap sites found 0 of 36, Jesus statue 0 of 12. Oh, this is a whole thing. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. You can and should sell items you acquire on the mountain. Your only source of income in the village is what you manage to hunt, trap, and harvest. Excuse me, why are we doing any of this? Why don't we just say like, hey, thank you very much for saving me and Baba. We have to be on our way now. So do you want to keep hunting or go back to the village? Your call. I'm fine either way. Baba's waiting for us. Let's head back. What? You just said it was my call whether we left or not. Now's not the time for praying. What? There's a Jesus statue. I should pray for safe hunting. but but earlier you said, no, but you sons of bitches game. All right, help him. Oh, okay. He looks like a sage out of a storybook, and rumor has it he can use sorcery. Sorcerer in a mountain shrine, huh? Sounds interesting. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was an actual sorcerer. Whoa, he's floated. God of the mountain. What are we doing? Okay, then. Oh, we're fighting icemen. Okay. So something I've been thinking about is that whole thing with the snow mountain and this whole gigantic digression. It just intuitively makes sense to me that if there's a large portion of the game, this is not just, some one-off side mission, right? This is a huge digression with this whole new system. They had to design first-person shooting element and hunting and all of these new snow village and mountain environments. They had to model animals and have animal AI. It's a substantial amount of content. It takes like 4 or 5 hours to get through it. It must be good then, right? And it's just meh, it's just whatever. But intuitively to me, I always think additional pieces of content in the game, these should be the good things, right? Whereas it's actually normally the smaller stuff, like the little random one-off side stories that are the best content, or like the little mini games like Taiko Drum Master. It only has 3 songs, but it's the best thing in the game. I think it's been the same in every single game. Like the worst parts of Yakuza 0 were the real estate digression with all this mountain stuff. They didn't actually make it fun. My name is Mami Yamashita. All right then, I'm Saejima. Saejima literally just escaped prison, and yet he's telling everyone his real name. Hurry to the customer eagerly awaiting a bowl of steaming hot ramen. Approach him gingerly, for the roads are icy slick, and a fall will surely spell the noodle's demise. Keep calm and carry on. Other people may slip and slide, becoming obstacles that can knock you over. So, where's this ultimate cold weather gear? Right here in my hand. Looks like it's just a pocket warmer. You might think that, yes. However, this is no ordinary pocket warmer. It's the ultimate pocket warmer. It produces several thousand times the heat of a regular one. Did you say it's thousands of times hotter than a regular one? Wouldn't that start a fire? It'll probably be fine. I just want to pass again to the hidden casino at Ambitious. It's a bar. Well, we almost get accused of everything. Do you even know how many of us were in Hokkaido in January 2012? Consider this a pop quiz for the prize you seek. It's a real number. The Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare counted us up. Quick, how many? I have no idea. Oh, okay. All right, I have no freaking clue. Sure. This is wrong, and I'm not talking unless you get it right. You're kidding me. How are you supposed to answer this? Here's a 5 homeless password. If you head down the road, you'll see a male NPC in a suit near one of the stores. Speak to him and he'll mention the answer? That's correct. Oh my god. So if I didn't do that, if I was determined to just do this like in the game, so you would get there, you'd have no idea what it was, and then you'd have one of 2 options. Try every single answer manually until you hit 71, or run all over the place randomly just trying to find somebody to talk to? Okay, you got the phone booth photo. Photo of a certain spot in town. Oh, we're not done with fetch quest bullshit? Okay. I think it's one of the upper photo booths. It's the one on the left, right? Is it not this one? So it's this one? It has to be this one. Oh my god, it's not this one. There should be a building with like an A on it somewhere. Okay, is it this one? No, it's not. Not this one. What? That's all the phone booths. So there's a castle, but there's no A or anything. Wait. So isn't that a phone booth across the street? But it's not one that... So, oh my god, are there phone booths that you can't save at that are also all over the place? And it's one of those? This phone booth, it's the one in the photo. Kitakata is going to be a guest of honor at the Snow Festival's opening ceremony. That's 2 days from now at noon, which means we don't know when his path is going to cross ours again. The ceremony is the only chance we'll get. But how are we going to get Kitakata to talk to us? That settles it. We'll have to kidnap him. Oh, that's a much better plan. At the ceremony site, there's a manhole right where the stage is located. Yeah, there's absolutely no way we can pull off this kidnapping. Okay, so he knows they're coming for him. Did they kidnap him when the planes flew over and nobody noticed? That would be insane. What do you mean? We're in the sewers right now. Just tell us now.
ですか？
あいつはまだ生きとる。
No way. Total shocker. The second most popular character in the entire franchise didn't die off screen to a character we've never met before? No way. We're on day 8 of a Yakuza 5 marathon. I am so excited to play Princess Idol Haruka. No fighting, no more big tough guy combat, all music rhythm games. Are Japanese apartments normally this small? Like, is this a normal thing? I mean, that water looks a little bit better than the water we saw earlier. Yeah, like it actually looks like water now. That is such a good remix. Running Girl. I'm sorry, what is this TV program? Oh, it's a TV show where we take idols in training and we have them run around. We just have them run and we film them running and that's it. Gio's ball, knock him down. Oh, 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 oh. Oh man, so close. Okay, here we go. There, see what you can do when you try. Hard to believe you were a complete amateur just a little while ago. What the heck was that? What is happening right now? Excuse me, what just happened there? Now then, which one of those 3 sentences contains a mistake? I accidentally took the wrong bus. He made a complete 180-degree turnabout. I love fruit, e.g. bananas and grapes. The one that is correct is I accidentally took the wrong bus. Oh, it's spelled incorrectly. It should be accidentally, not accidentally. But you're talking, you're speaking to her. I'll give you a tongue twister and you'll say it as fast as you can. We'll start with one of the more common tongue twisters. Seashells, seashells by the seashore. Many an anemone sees an enemy anemone. Man, what a dramatic improvement this part of the game has been. I know, if you lose, you have to switch to our agency. Deal? It's a deal. That's a stupid deal. Why'd you make a promise like that? There's nothing legally binding about this. Instead of a loan assessment, I'll have you take some tests. If you can pass them, the 300 million is yours. Okay, Akiyama. She's already failed. She's a diva, has no business plan, has no savings, doesn't know anything about how to run a business. Why must everyone be stupid? Or you could just get on the train and leave. That would entail being smart though, and none of these characters are smart. So it makes sense actually. It's a good girl, hold still now. Chase the chicken, okay. Oh, chicken racing? Name your Nagoya Kochin. Well, it has to be this, right? Enter races, train a Kochin, breeding. You can mate your roosters with a hen and breed a brand new bird. This is far more involved than I thought it would be. On yesterday's stream, we handled our balls and raced our cocks, so today we're finishing up the main story. I don't really see how any of these different characters' storylines are really connected to each other. It doesn't feel like there's a big puzzle and we're getting all the different pieces to it by following these separate characters. It feels like we're getting 4 to 5 distinct stories that have nothing to do with each other. Yeah, man, the Tojo clan and the Omi Alliance just feel like pieces of shit organizations. Who would ever step up to try to help those organizations? Hey, I've got a great idea. How about all those guys who we didn't kill who are just, you know, all still here at the docks? Why don't we stand around talking and having a long conversation? That's okay, they're off screen, so they don't exist. What, they're gonna have a final baseball match right now? Oh, we gotta get out of here. The Nagoya family will be here any minute. Oh, it's okay. We can drag all of these unconscious bodies away. None of them will wake up. And then apparently it took us all day to do that because it's nighttime now. Shouldn't be an issue though. Is this the dumbest thing that's happened so far?
わざわざ俺たちをおびき出すような真似をしたんだ。
そうしないと黒幕の正体を知ることができないと思ったからです。その謎を知るためにも私たちはここで殺し合わない。
What? Why?
そのすべてを奪い取るつもりなんです。
How about we just don't fight and then say we did?
生きるのは戦い終わって。
This is once again very stupid, but okay. Hey, remember when there was this girl who Kiryu had a relationship with? That's just never gonna go anywhere, huh?
ってくるまでまだ喧嘩をやめるわけにはいかない。
Just go down and pretend like you're out of juice. Why would you let him raise his gun? Why would you let him raise his gun? Why would you ever let him raise his gun?
どうして誰かが 犠牲になる
Because you're stupid and you don't kill your enemies and you also fuck off and just let things unravel without you being around. And only get involved when it's already too late. Hang on. It just occurred to me. So Park tells Kiryu, you need to be out of here and not connected to these people anymore because it's going to be a big scandal if anyone finds out that Haruka's connected to a former Yakuza. But she, Haruka's manager, is connected to a current Yakuza. I spent 25 years in that hellhole, but not once did I lose hope. I knew Yasuko and my brother Majima would be waiting for me when I got out. What do you mean waiting for you when you got out? You were on death row. If people like Kiryu and Majima are supposed to be like these gods among men who can defeat, 50 guys at a time, why is Majima able to get kidnapped?
自分の兄弟を殺せ
This is stupid. Why doesn't Kurosawa just kill both of them? This is just so contrived. It's basically the writer wanted these characters to fight each other and couldn't figure out a way to make it make sense, so it just doesn't. What? Well, it's Baba, right? Why would Baba have even shown up in the first place to shoot her when he's already turned traitor against Kurosawa?
あんたにはこれまでやってきたことの責任をしっかり取ってもらう
What? He was an assassin who was possibly gonna kill Haruka and decided against it. So rather than just let him leave, you're gonna antagonize him?
馬場を救い出してやってほしいってな
And we just knew you were here at the stadium somehow. Also, we let these two criminals out of prison because...
みんなお前の顔が見たいってよ
Really? His story isn't going to end with him getting reinstated to baseball. It's going to end with him just going back to his old life. I thought the whole point of his life in the city was that he was like this loser who couldn't make deadlines and he was just, scumming around in the sex industry. And he just always wanted to get back to baseball. And now you're telling me, nope, whatever. His story's not going to end that way at all.
今すぐお前らを
Ha, you think bullets can kill us? No, because we have reverse bullets. Daigo's out of prison and Katsuya are... Oh, they're both out of the hospital. Wow, what an incredible marksman. He's able to shoot like 5 guys in a row before they can get off a single shot. I mean, you just killed all of his henchmen. Why not just kill him too? What you need to know now is it was never Kurosawa's goal to kill us or take over Kamurocho. Oh, of course not. He only tried to shoot us. But that was never his goal to kill us. These are some interesting hitboxes. Wow, really? This works, huh? I can't believe this is actually a way you can win the fight. Ah, crap. Oh, you're kidding me. I thought I would just take a bit of damage and then be able to continue. Restarts the entire fight from the beginning? Oh my god. Here's the thing. If I wasn't streaming this, I would just stop playing the game at this point. Having to redo this entire fight again, how long did that take? Like, it's like a 20-minute fight. I would literally just go to YouTube, see how the game ends. Can I just do the stupid leg kick thing? It's the most tedious way to do the fight, but it's technically the best way because the combat system is terrible. Enemies can attack you with no ability to block or dodge them. They can, their attacks can literally be unblockable to where you don't have any time to interact with them. You could be attacking them and they can just break your attacks and stun you. And you've got fights like this where the enemy has just insane health and the fight is not actually hard because the enemy is like a challenging and interesting enemy to fight. It's only hard because the enemy has so much goddamn health that the fight takes 20 minutes. You can get stun locked by the enemies. You can get caught in a cycle of rapid attacks. Not only can you not block or dodge them, but you actually have no recourse. They can just hit you and you just have to take the damage. Because of all the bullshit, it actually makes the boss fights the worst fights in the game. At least with the lowly grunt enemies and random encounters, you can generally beat them quickly. And I think the most disappointing thing is every single one of these games, I've put it on normal mode rather than easy mode just because I kept thinking, surely they have to improve the combat as the games continue. And they just never do. It's the same combat system every time. So Yakuza 6, I'm just going to put it on easy mode right from the beginning. Yeah, and then once you get to this point in the fight, you literally can't even, it's not even a fair fight anymore. It's just do the bullshit leg trick over and over because otherwise you're just going to eat damage. You'll see stuff like this, like right here, I can't block or dodge this. Once you start getting hit, you can't stop getting hit. And then enemies can also put up their blocks and you have no way of breaking through them. It is not acceptable to have multi-stage boss fights that take up to 20 minutes long to complete and have you go all the way back to the beginning stage if you screw up. let's get the bad out of the way first so we can talk about the good afterwards and leave on a positive note. The bad. It's got all the same problems that all the other Yakuza games have. It's got an overly convoluted, unnecessarily complicated plot that goes on for way too long and is filled with tons of padding and busy work and just obnoxious nuisances. I'm not exactly sure how long my playtime with this game is, but I think it's at least got to be 60 hours, and that's without doing all the side content, like a bunch of the mini games because they're the same mini games as previous ones, or a lot of the hostess clubs I didn't do with various characters. So the game is at least 60 hours, if not longer than that. And yet it still feels the need to constantly include all of this padding in it. There's so many things that don't make any sense, like why Kiryu even has to be apart from them in the first place, why you'd have to leave the orphanage. Baba, for example, who's a traitor, who's out to get Saejima, but then, he bonds with Saejima, and so he flips back and goes against Kurosawa, who was the one hiring him in the first place. But then he still shows up to the concert as planned to try to kill Haruka. There's tons and tons of fights that are in the game that don't make any sense. There's no reason for these characters to fight, like Shinada versus Baba or Baba versus Kiryu. So many of the fights in the game are just excuses to have another combat scene or another boss fight when they don't need to be in the game at all, when it doesn't make any sense for these characters. Basically, characters are constantly taking actions that make no sense, things contradict themselves, events that happen contradict previous events or don't make any sense. It's a really big problem. And then, of course, there's the combat system. So first of all, like, random encounters are annoying as fuck, and the combat system itself is just atrocious. It becomes less and less forgivable to me as the games continue, because it's like these combat system was terrible originally, and you're just not even fixing it. You're not doing anything to improve it as these games continue. And they'll make little changes here and there, like they'll add a new, there's like a special heat move that you can do when you hold the right bumper and press Y. Oh, here's Shinada, he's got a new combat style that's different from the other characters, but the core of the combat system is unchanged. It's button mashy, it doesn't let you dodge or block properly, there's attacks that you flat out cannot dodge or block, the enemies can stun you, the enemies can grab you without you being able to stop them, you can get knocked to the ground constantly, and between stuns, grabs, and getting knocked to the ground, there's tons of downtime where you're just sitting around waiting, and then there's a lot of events in the story that I think needed to be shuffled around and redone. I don't like that Park was killed, but if you're gonna kill her, it doesn't make any sense from an emotional standpoint, to have her die midway through the Idol Princess League plotline and then have Haruka continue to go on and sing on stage. That should have been at the end of it. Like, she does all the Princess League stuff and then Park dies at the end of that plotline. Or, for example, why is Hori the manager, then he gets taken out, then you get another manager? What's the point of having Ogita come back, get fired, only to then hire a different manager or a different dance instructor? There's lots of unnecessary stuff, lots of stuff that just adds fluff to the story that just takes up more time when it doesn't need to be there. The overall storyline, so of course it's once again, it's a big Yakuza conspiracy with tons of betrayals and different factions vying for power, but it doesn't feel like there's a big puzzle and we're just, getting all the different pieces to it by following these different characters. We've got Kiryu, and then we switch to Saejima, then we switch to Haruka, then we switch to Akiyama, then we switch to Shinada. It doesn't feel like there's this grand plot, this big puzzle that we're getting all these pieces to, and we're putting all the pieces together. It feels like 4 to 5 totally unconnected storylines that converge at the end just because they have to. On a positive note, it's a huge improvement over Yakuza 4. I was actually invested in certain aspects of the plot. I really liked Park and Haruka's mother-daughter bonding experience. I liked a lot of what was going on with Kiryu being lonely, even if that wasn't executed the best, especially the girl who was interested in him, who we didn't get enough background on and just abruptly is gone from the storyline. I was at least interested in the plot in a lot of cases, whereas like Yakuza 3, I stopped caring about it at all, and the fourth game, the plot was just a disaster almost from the get-go, with Akiyama's stupidity, and then Saejima had a little bit of interest coming back in once you get him as a new character, but then the whole thing just completely falls apart. It becomes this crazy, unbelievable conspiracy. This game at least had many parts that I was interested in. The best part of the game is Haruka and Park and once we switch to her character and getting the whole idol trading stuff. Every time when you're with Haruka and you don't have to do any of the terrible combat in the game or any of the random encounters, it's so refreshing. The musical minigame stuff with like dance competitions, those are fun. Taiko Drum Master is a very fun minigame, and especially the absolute best thing that this game does is the music. There are so many good tracks, which, I mean, there should be because it's a whole idol game and it's a big portion of the game based around dance numbers and music, but yeah, there's a lot of great songs, so many bangers, and the thing I was looking forward to the most as I was playing the game is when I can go and listen to the whole soundtrack and pick out a bunch of the songs to add to my personal music collection. That is, I think, by far the best feature of this game is the excellent music. But other than that, I don't think there's really too much more to add. You know, it's very much in the same vein as all the other Yakuza games. It's got all the same problems and all the same strengths, except the music is particularly well done in this game. I feel like who's ever in charge of writing the games, they need someone to balance them out. They need someone to come in and say like, okay, what you've written here, the skeleton of your script is good. Now we need to go in and refine this and, you know, make sure all this stuff interconnects. We need to clean up the stuff that doesn't make sense. That's what these games really need. Revisory script writer or like, you know, checks and balances, other people on the team coming in and fixing the problems that are in the skeleton of the script. Because as is, these stories feel like they're always a first or second draft that has not gone through a proper amount of revisions, and thus tons of stuff that doesn't make sense gets left in them. They need somebody coming in with more revisions, cleaning things up and streamlining stuff, fixing errors and whatnot. I would say overall I enjoyed the game. Like, I wouldn't have kept playing it if I didn't. Here's another issue. When you constantly have characters getting shot, but then, oh, the character can just get shot and then they don't die. And then they just get bandaged up. Like the end of the third game. It ends with Kiryu getting stabbed in the gut, but then he just shows up in the post-credit scene and it's like, oh, he's fine. Constantly characters are shown to be severely injured, but then, oh, they're just back. Like Daigo gets shot in this game. Friggin' everyone gets shot in this game, but then it doesn't matter because they're just fine. It deflates all the tension, really. Another positive to this game is that the whole theme of like following your dreams or having a dream that you're trying to fulfill was at least something. It was some sort of theme or message in the game, whereas like Yakuza's, I think like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are just, here's a mafia plotline and that's it. And there's no like bigger overall meaning to it. This one, at least there's some sort of deeper meaning to what's going on. Something to tie these characters together. I know my thoughts on this were a bit shorter than normal, but I just feel like a lot of what I have to say has just been said about the previous games. It's the same problems and the same positives from one game to the next. So here's what I hope for Yakuza 6. I'm hoping that the story is not a giant clusterfuck with like a billion different characters that you're playing. I hope we just play as Kiryu and we're just playing this Kiryu the whole time, or you know, maybe we switch to Haruka or whatever, but basically don't constantly shift perspectives and jump all over the place. I hope that the story isn't an incoherent mess, but it's these games, so it's going to be. I would hope that they would improve the combat, but they're not going to. So what realistically do I hope for? A story that's actually good. Sure, it'll have its problems, but, you know, at least overall good. This story was, I would say, not good, actually. I would say I enjoyed parts of it, but in particular, Park and Haruka's section. But Kiryu's stuff only works as a beginning point and doesn't really work as a part of a larger whole. Saijima's whole entire storyline is a waste of time. Then you get to Haruka and Park, which is great, until Park gets killed. And then we switch to Akiyama, and his character is a waste of time. And then there's Shinada, who's kind of interesting, but his story doesn't really mean anything when factored into the larger overall plot. The way Shinada's story ends is so weird, too, that the whole game is about, like, you know, living your dream and all that, and he's, you know, he's the victim of an undeserved frame job, so you think his whole world is about returning to that world of baseball and clearing his name. And at the end of the game, even though he could clear his name, it's just like, oh, come back to the same old city and work as the same sleaze writer you were working as the whole time. Like, really? That's where his character ends up at the end of all this. So yeah, Yakuza 6. Hopefully the combat's tolerable. I hope there's a bunch of new fun mini games or side adventures. I find that the sub-stories in all of these games are just like, they're just okay. Like, none of the ones from this game stand out to me. I can't pick any out off the top of my head. None of them are like, oh yeah, I remember that one. So Yakuza 6. Good, hopefully good story despite any problems it has. Interesting, fun side stories. Hopefully some fun new mini games and tolerable combat. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, if you stuck it out this long, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.